My God.
Oh, God damn. What to do during the bye week? Bloody hell. How you guys going? Oh, hurry up. Feels nice winning the first final, after everyone just sort of writes you off and you go up to Adelaide and fuck, it just feels good. Feels bloody good. How you guys been?
Yeah, good, mate. Not as relaxed as you, evidently, but I'm glad you're
That might be the best thing you've ever done.
That is the single best 20 seconds of Swoop Luke.
I'm gonna do the whole show like this.
I was gonna say, keep it on.
It's a
FOMO. We really are the peasants in this game. Fucking Jake and St Kilda fucking trading and overpaying for players. Carlton fucking losing their marbles over fucking a guy that has barely played football, and Jack Petrocelli over there. Collingwood, all the doubt, go away to Adelaide and just get the job done. It's unbelievable. We're the schmucks in this game.
Good looking schmucks though, so that helps.
It's a win.
It's a win. It's a good win.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a bit thrown off.
Where do we go from here? Someone say something.
Look, you know what?
Go straight into the ladder predictor. Let's wrap it up. Straight into the ladder predictor. I've got a massage. I've got the massage tables out there. I've got some people coming over. We need to wrap this up pretty quickly.
Jeez.
We are fools, ladies and gentlemen. We are fools.
Is that a real face mask? What is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, can you zoom in? That is.
Jeez.
Now, be honest. Did you buy that just for this bit, or do you do that every night?
Look at my face. Actually, I've had that for a while, and I thought, fire out. Oh, that was good. All right.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Well, welcome back, boys.
Touche.
I think the week off did everyone. It was good.
Oh, that's good fun. Good fun. How are we all going? Seriously.
Yeah. Just I think I'm a better. I don't know if I'm better or worse now. Just a reminder of what I'm doing with my life.
Hey, I recommend a face mask. This was $2 from Kmart. You can do one face mask every week. There you go, $5. I'm gonna get a couple of face masks now from Kmart. Thanks, Ben.
I do like a face mask. I like a good charcoal one. I used to use one with the Dead Sea mud.
Oh, yeah, I can't do that one. It feels. I don't like things on my face like that. It feels too like. Does it like tighten your skin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it like a tiger.
Do it like a tiger. Oh fuck! So
Tommy,
anyway,
Jake,
welcome to Beauty Abroad.
Yeah.
Do I do face masks?
You do a face mask, Tom.
Oh, is that? Oh, we're still on this.
Absolutely not. No. Just
change your life.
Just soap and water, good hygiene. Shower in the morning, shower in the evening, bath just before bed. That's my daily routine.
Shower. You shower in the evening and then you have a bath.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, because why would I bathe in my own filth?
Yeah. Don't bathe.
I'm a human, not a pig.
Yeah. It's not medieval London.
All right.
Right. Water's pretty cheap nowadays. Do you know what I mean? It's quite free. We're surrounded by it. So yeah.
Yeah.
Teresa.
Yeah, that's all I do, mate. That's all I do. None of that.
Fair.
Mrs. Pom is partial to it, but not me.
Mate, Teresa with the skin respect here. Love that.
Wasn't there a show? Was it last year where we thought Terry had the StreamYard filter on?
Oh yeah,
it's like the skin corrector or whatever it is. And he turned it off. He turned it off, and it didn't change.
To be fair, the Sony ZV-E10 does a very good job of looking after your skin.
Yeah.
Isn't that more though, Mrs. Degani? Like your ma, she's got beautiful skin. She looks a lot younger than she is. Lovely woman is Mrs. Degani, I have to say.
Mate, my hair and my good looks come from my mother and my eyebrows.
Love that.
Like I want to be mothered by your mum every time I meet her. She gives real good mum vibes. Like honestly, like I feel like she's going to invite me in and feed me. And tell me I'm pretty and I'm a good boy, and that's sometimes what I need. At 40, I need that in my life.
If you need a pep up, Helen is the go.
She is indeed.
Swoop, I think this is for you. I use coconut oil and some of this Korean cream I get off Amazon. My friend recommended wonders. Also, Terry, mate, how good was that Adelaide performance? Right? Yes. Where's my man Giga Chad?
Where's Giga Chad? Yeah,
Giga Chad wants a little bit. Everyone wants a little bit. All right, so I tipped the Crows by 8 points. I did. I thought the Crows, I started believing in them, and I thought they'd get the job done. I believed in the reality that the Pies were done. So on that note, Luke, wow, Thursday night, can you just run us through what it's like?
Yeah, like I haven't experienced anything like that before, in the sense of like going away to a final. Like I did it in Sydney a couple of years ago, but that was, we drove straight to the game. But this one I got up a day before, and on Thursday, it was a sea of black and white all through like Rundle Mall, and it was beautiful. The vibes were immaculate. The game was incredible. Like that's obviously, the best Collingwood have played in about 2 months. Reminiscent to, I guess, the Adelaide game a couple of weeks ago. But yeah, it even shocked some of us, like that we came out as well as we did. And that third quarter will go down in a bit of folklore for us. Just how well it was, and still side bottom to forward. There were tricks up the sleeves that, I've been saying that there has to be, and it's come to fruition. And 2 more games and we're premiers. So now just keen to see who wins that Q clash.
What's it like having so many finals like memories? So I mean, like you'd almost forget some of them. And I mean, for a club like Carlton or St Kilda, like we hold on to our finals memories like for dear life. Like Blake Acres pick, Melbourne, that's going to be getting a run for 10 years. And before that, it was the Chris Judd goal. So what's it like having, I don't know, dozens of these
Sport.
moments? It's nice.
Yeah. Sport, like, look, sport for choice. You're honestly sport for choice, and you, the finals is the biggest stage, and time again we're there. And Craig McRae has taken us to three prelims in his first 4 years of coaching. No Pies coach has done that since Tom Hafey in the 70s and 80s, I think. And yeah, it feels good. Like it's kind of recency bias. So we'll talk about this game, sort of forget about maybe like in 2022 where we beat Fremantle at a 90,000 packed or 92,000 packed MCG in a semi-final, which was a really good win before we took on Sydney. We'll probably forget about that. Well, we probably already have, and this one takes precedent. And yeah, they're just stacking on top of each other. But it feels good, especially when you're sort of backs against the wall and everyone is writing you off. And I didn't see anyone sort of tip Collingwood. And yeah, to win as we did, that was our biggest. How's this for a stat? I haven't even posted about it. I should, but that's our biggest win in a final since the grand final. Sorry, Jake, since the grand final replay against the Saints, which was 15 years ago. Yeah. Damn. So that was only what was it, 26 points or 24 points or something. So it says a lot about just how we play finals football.
Wow. Okay.
Incredible.
Jake, how was your week, mate? We had the week off. You and I went for dinner. We had a date last Tuesday.
Yeah, that was lovely. Yeah, good wine, good schnitzel there. The side dish was more of a main course, but I mean, the more the merrier, which was nice. So that was a nice little night. And then the week has been, busy, very busy in the news front. Content wise, I think since I saw you, we've had 3 players request a trade, which is insane to think in 7 days. So I haven't really been able to take a break on that front. And then on, Windy and all these other players, focusing on players that we want to keep as well as get. That's kind of been taking up a lot of my mind. But it looks like there's some news there. So hopefully some positive news on the Windhager front. There's no, what was it, Piehager or whatever that was. That was on that had a run for about a week. So
that had one for a day. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the D's have been very excited about it. So we'll see what happens there. But positive news, I think, on my front, which is nice.
So we went from, we're still, Leakalea is still going ahead, right? That's still in the works. That's happening.
100%.
Jack Silvani. I don't know if you were so confident that was going to happen until that was announced. Thoughts? Can we get your St Kilda perspective? Reuniting with Daddy?
Look, from what I've been told, it's been in the works for a little bit. So I kind of knew we were a sniff. I thought maybe the Pies or the Dogs would up an offer. I thought maybe it was just us coming in and bullying them to increase their offer because they probably need, at least the Dogs, you'd think they're 1 or 2 key defenders away from really climbing up the ladder and sorting out their defense because their attack is so good. So I thought maybe they'd go a bit harder.
But how hard can you go when you're offering him 900,000 though?
Well, we're not
$1 million.
If you want to believe every,
is it 900? Is it wait, what is that?
It's
the deal?
not. He's pulling 800
to 900. 800 to 900.
I can confirm it's not.
What is it? What is it then?
You can throw it at it's just nothing that's been talked
900,000.
Wait, is it 9?
Nah, it's not 9. Nah.
Is it 8?
Nah, it'd be around 8. I think Pies and Dogs were looking at 700. So for us to come in 100 over and give him 1 more year, it's not. I don't think in modern day football it's that huge. Like in terms of overs, I don't think that's crazy compared to what the Dogs and the Pies were looking at. But he's a free agent, doesn't cost us picks. And I watched Pom's video, and he kind of reassures me that him, Wilkie, can kind of lock down a little bit more, and Aaliyah and Taru can be more of the intercept and bounce out of the back half a bit more. So, I'll welcome him, but it's not one that when it happened, I thought, holy shit, this is amazing. We're on. I was more excited about TDK and a few others, but we'll take some experience in the back half. Don't mind it.
How many more of these plays will it take before it becomes, all right, guys, finals is the expectation? Because I feel like now is that time.
I think Damo Barrett in his article today said if we don't make a prelim next year, it's a fail. So he's already gone.
Oh, that's
he's
a bit
already
far.
gone. That's very excessive.
bit
Yeah,
far.
like that's ridiculous. But I think, yeah, quietly we'd all be hoping for maybe a finals berth. We won 9 games this year, although the Dogs won 14 and missed. So that kind of shows how big the gap is, from the top 9 to the bottom 9. So, it's all about retaining now, though. We don't want to lose Marshall. We don't want to lose Windy. And obviously Wilkie, the Dogs, throwing over 1.2, 1.3 at him at the moment, apparently. So, yeah, bit of work there. But I think we're doing all the right things so far.
Cool.
Yeah.
Pommy, mate, what's the story? How was your week off? What'd you do? What's on your mind? How are you?
Well, firstly, thank you very much. I'm very well, thank you. No week off for me. I was busy. Thanks to Saints, they gave me a lot of content. That was good. Just as I did one trade, Pommy ball analysis, they did another one. It was like felt like I was part of St Kilda's list management team at one point, researching these players. But yeah, no, really good. Really enjoying it. I mean, you've got Swoop there celebrating another finals win. You've got Jake celebrating a complete attack on free agency, ruffling feathers. Everyone's having a cry. And I got a Campbell Cheshire, so I'll let you guys in chat work out who the real fucking winner is. Because it ain't me. Nah, my boy Juddy's right. I did get to do 4 quality watch-alongs with my chat, though, so that was good fun. Lots of football and didn't have to worry about anything other than just enjoy football.
Oh, mate. Happy days.
Nice
Happy
times.
days. All right. Well, yeah. Let's get stuck right into it. Luke, you're the only one that played the game on the weekend. Would you like to kick us off?
Yeah. So I've got a couple, but the one I want to talk about, because it's been in the some journos and media have been talking about, or mainly fans, I think, really have been talking about it, was the Gold Coast's first win. First finals campaign, finals win, incredible, right? How they won was just absolutely incredible, and it's off the back of Dimmer going up there and just we know how it sort of played out. But do you think the shine, and this is from people that I'm sort of reading in comments, do you think the shine is taken away a little bit because there's such a quote unquote manufactured side with academies, with concessions, as opposed to someone like like a Fremantle getting a flag? Let's say if the Gold Coast Suns win a flag in front of Fremantle who have never won a flag, do you think that supporters would be happy about that? Or do you think it would be like the narrative would be from supporters? Narrative from the AFL is going to be like, that's amazing, our expansion team won a flag. So I think supporters are going to be like, because you gave them every single concession under the sun, and the same's probably going to happen to Tassie and stuff like that.
That's a good question. I see it as a success for the AFL more than the club or more than their fans, to be honest. So I think the AFL would sit back and go, great, that's exactly what we want. They would dream for a Giants Gold Coast grand final. They would have had that in the back of their minds, to be honest. So, I mean, I'm sure they've got do you think they would have diehard fans? They've been around long enough.
Yeah, 15 years, right?
Fans that would be absolutely stoked about their win.
Yeah, 100%.
On the weekend, even if
I'm
there's
stoked about their win.
Yeah, and you saw like in the small area at Optus, their fans, like they were going nuts. So I mean, for them, it's probably not manufactured, but from my perspective, like that moment will have that. It will be tarnished a little bit, I think, with whatever they do. To be honest.
We interrupt these proceedings for one moment because Borat.
Oh, very nice.
I like you. You're never going to get these. Nice. Dear. I love it when Borat donates. Just let it out. Thank you, mate. I love you, brother.
That's
Okay, so if ever Borat donates gifts memberships, I think that's what we have to.
It
Yeah,
happens
right.
all the time. I just get to recess being a kid again. I love it. Makes me happy.
My view, no. To answer your question, no, I wouldn't. I don't think it would take the gloss off of it. Personally, I don't know. I look at the Suns. Yeah, they have a lot of talented players. They've also got a lot of guys that. I think of a guy like Jai Farah. I think of a guy like Ben Long. I think of these types as well. I think they've got a few of those in there as well. They've also got a pretty. You look at the facilities that they've got from where they've come from to where they are as well. It doesn't compare to some of the other clubs in the league, and being an interstate club is also a challenge with travel. No, I wouldn't view it like that. I wouldn't gloss over it personally.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair. And I've seen some comments saying, oh, Mr. Bonjour, oui, oui. Oui, 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 oui. I don't know if he's French, but bonjour. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that, brother. I just wanted to be included. But yeah, I personally don't think it'll gloss over a grand final win or a final or that finals win. I think they've done their time, and maybe if it was in the first 5 seasons, you can say, hang on a second, something's up now. But it was a good game. It was a fantastic win.
Mm-hmm. Pommy?
I see what Swoop's saying, because I'm already seeing it, like with the NGA Father Sons being changed. Like there's this warped sense of it's not fair. And then people's definition of equality is the most stupid thing I've ever heard. That, well, they've benefited, so why can't we benefit for a couple of years and then that's equal? And I'm like, well, no, equality means you ignore everything that's happened from a certain point in time, and then everything thereafter you are treated the same. It's not, oh, but we had this, and that gets lost in society. I think it's great for football, like genuinely great. Like, I'm a big hater of the academies and things like that, which is what they've built, but there's no argument with the statistics around it. 11-year-old onwards, they're getting leadership, teamwork networks, there's fitness, there's training, there's cultural awareness, nutrition, healthy living. You're talking now that's great for an exposure of communities that weren't subjected to football traditionally. So there's no getting away. GWS, Gold Coast, all these types of teams are doing great things for our game and only merely growing it. And I thought there was something romantic, wasn't there, the way that they did it? Could you have thought of a better way? David Swallow, 200 odd games, never played a final, comes on. Most important behind since Leonardo DiCaprio got a backstage pass to the Victoria's Secret modelling gig. What a behind. Good for football.
It is.
Love it.
It is. Cool.
Jake?
Yes.
Just move on.
No, it's great.
Actually,
unless anyone has anything else to add.
No. I think Freo are a massive loser. I think they'd be kicking themselves. They didn't win that game, but they'll be back next year for sure. You got to learn. You got to lose to win sometimes. But keeping on the football topic, because we missed last week, I want to talk about the finals. But in particular, I want each of you to give me, and put it in the comments as well, but when you watched the finals, what separated the winners versus the losers? What was, say, a key similarity that you could spot and identify with all of the winners that the losers didn't do, and something that teams that are outside the 8 would aspire to obviously replicate going forward? I'll just start with mine very quickly. The one thing that I noticed the most was, I think that all of the winners were the better defensive teams even during the season. I think we maybe got seduced with Brisbane and Adelaide's firepower, but Collingwood and Geelong were just incredible. Darcy Moore, what a bloody game from Darcy Moore. They were rock solid. And watch the first 7 minutes of the Giants-Hawks game. The Giants had like 10 inside 50s to 1. Were peppering. The Hawks held their nerve.
Yep.
And they kicked the first goal of the game. And at that exact moment, I thought, okay, I think they're in for a big show here because they showed that strength to not concede. And I think in finals, you're going to have to take pain. And all of those teams in moments in games against momentum copped it and then gave it back and were efficient. So that was the one thing I noticed with all of the winners out of the games on the weekend.
One word. Mentality.
Mentality.
Mentality. Yeah. Just the collective focus of the winners. To be fair, I thought Freo, I started believing in them for the first week of the year last week. But I watched that I watched them all. Just that ability to withstand adversity and come through the other end and just stay connected to what they were doing and to one another. That's what stood out to me.
Good one.
Yeah, I would have said fight. Like all the teams, like, Collingwood to go to a hostile crowd and fight and that sort of belief. Same with Hawthorn as well. They got really challenged by the Giants and they had to dig deep and fight their way through. Gold Coast as well. They got challenged by Fremantle at the end. They fought their way through. And the Cats, the Cats are just really the fucking Cats. They just keep fighting, don't they?
Pom?
Look, you could give blanket answers: defense, pressure, intensity. I always think that what separates the great from the meek, the amazing from the mild, are things like connection, right? The connection that you can't teach. So Geelong, the amount of times I saw Ollie Dempsey overlap his half forwards, get caught out of position, and without thinking, Stengel drops back to defence for him. Gearan does the same as well. When I watched Adelaide's game against Collingwood, the amount of times Will Parker busted a nut to get back for his team when one of the other guys, side bottom, got caught out or made an error. That willingness, when you saw Darcy Moore as well make some mistakes at the start, how you see that team react to Darcy Moore making a mistake. They aren't berating him. They're getting around him. But first and foremost, they're trying to fix the fucking thing. And they're the little things that you can't teach. This weekend, me and my wife watched a good ex-colleague of an ex-associate of mine, Rafael Cabrera-Barro. He was winning a golf tournament. Rory was on his arse. And you could see the difference in mentality. One guy has never been there. One guy has done it and was under no pressure. And they're the things that you see, the skills that you can't teach. Gold Coast, Fremantle was probably the best example of this. Two teams that probably don't have the right to have that arrogance. But that togetherness of that Gold Coast side, when Fremantle were on top, that belief you saw in the last 2 minutes, Fremantle wanted the game to end. Gold Coast were willing to play for another 10 minutes. Even when they got that goal, they were ready to go. They were ready to go. That they could have probably played for another 30 minutes. So that's, I think, where I look at them in the season. When I look at Geelong this season, when I look at Collingwood this season, when I've looked at teams like that they enjoy them little things that most people don't enjoy. That spoil over the line, that rush back, chase down tackle. They celebrate them little things. It's easy to celebrate goals. It's easy to toss yourself off for being brilliant in 5 minutes. But I think it's the willingness to be a hero, take that opportunity. That's what's hard. You can't teach that. Not many people will shoot the shot. You know that old saying, you miss 100% of shots you don't take? It takes balls to take the shot, though. And very few people will even take the shot. So it's great to watch that togetherness. You can't teach that. And hopefully my quiz a bit later on might explain how you develop that, how you build that. But that's great. Collingwood, one of the teams that I just enjoy watching. Like, it's disgusting, isn't it? Adelaide versus Collingwood, 0 chance on paper. 0 chance. Form line, no chance. Recent history, no chance. Every data point, no chance. But tell you what, as Tyson said, everyone's got a plan until you're whacked in the face.
Yeah,
and unfortunately, you have to kill Collingwood because they know. And it was amazing watching Adelaide's second half on it. Collingwood went into the book, and there was these beautiful handwritten notes by McRae, what to do when you're in the shit. And it's run harder, work smarter. And Adelaide opened their book, and someone had drawn a cock and balls shooting sperm out of it. Like they were like, what the fuck do we do? Like looking at each other, and just shows you, doesn't it? When you play finals, it's them intricate things, isn't it?
Does that make it more damning for someone like for a team like the Giants though, that they've been around every single year with that list? How they just cannot get the job done. They have a great back line. Their midfield is brilliant. Their forward line is dangerous. They have everything on paper again. And they've played a Hawthorn team that lost their first final last season, was out of the finals for a bit. So you would think that the Giants on that level at home would have that experience, but they sort of fell to pieces. Yeah.
But you've bullied me all year for saying the frauds, but...
No, I look... Totally,
no, but I mean, proof was when they play their game in that quarter where they destroyed Hawthorn, sexual. You can't handle it. But when it's difficult and the game plan doesn't work, you've got to be smarter. And unfortunately, GWS are year 6 maths, and we're doing fucking complex algebra, mate. Like,
what does that say for the Suns? First final. First time, club history, first final for a lot of those players out there. I know they've got a really experienced coach. So is that the Suns being blissfully ignorant in their first final and finding a way to get the job done? Because they played with the maturity.
Yeah. Oh, I'd love to. I think being away from home in a way would have been brilliant for them. I think they would have really enjoyed that. Being the underdog with only 1,000 or 2,000 fans there or whatever it might be, and 50,000 Fremantle fans. I think if they were at home, favoured to win, it could be a completely different story we're talking about right now. But I think they're the sort of team that would, and I think on the road they've been pretty good for the majority of the season. So I'd have to check the fixture, but from memory they've had some good away wins. So I think that was the perfect storm for them and their coach. We cannot underestimate a coach that's won that many flags. He would have instilled a lot of belief in them throughout the years to prep them for a game like the weekend.
I will say though, I don't think Gold Coast would have beaten anyone else. Like my initial vibe in that first season, I think Hawthorn would have beaten them as they proved against GWS. They've got something up here. I think Dimmer's brilliant, but I think that was partly Fremantle are a little bit like, see what I said about GWS. When it gets hard, like the fact they begged, I was watching it on the live and I said, I can't believe they've begged to review that because the behind made it harder for them because it was going to go through the centre square. You've probably got a 12% chance of winning it. Kicking it in, you've got a 0.2%, which I thought showed the Fremantle mindset of the awareness of the situation. You would have been happier for a bounce and said, right.
Yeah, 100%.
Tap me down. I'll punt the fucker forward. Like, and I was like, what are they doing? Why are they arguing with the umpire?
I know, especially...
I'd be like, no, I didn't touch it, mate. Went through. Goal.
Yeah.
You're talking about having 2-star rucks all season. You might as well at least give yourself a chance in the exact scenario where they would have the upper hand. And they didn't.
Yeah,
that's
I thought you scored the forward line. Especially, like I said it on the watch along. This is where a wise team would have said, Alex Pearce is clunking everything. Send him centre half forward. Get Luke Jackson forward. Darcy, tap the ball down. Kick the fucker as far as you can. One of us will mark it. And I was like, it just shows you, innit? But I think you see these signs in season. I think if you remember last year, Terry, I was hot on Brisbane winning the flag at the bye.
Yep.
And
I remember.
Yeah, and there was one reason I was hot on them. It was their attitude from tackles, spoiling. Like you could see, even though it wasn't working results-wise, there was something there. And I think when you look at Geelong, like how they play, you can't argue with them because that belief, you've got to kill them, haven't you? When Geelong lose, they have been beaten up all around the ground. Yeah. And you can you walk off and you go, okay. Like when we beat them, I always look at Chris Scott. It's the worst I've ever seen a side I've coached play.
Yeah.
Like which is damning, isn't it? Like, we never looked at it, but I went back and listened to it, and he was like, it's the worst I've ever seen us play. And I'm like, something bad's got to happen for Geelong to lose. But Fremantle, how often do we talk about Fraudmantle? They implode. Yep. And in finals, you get found out, don't you? And Adelaide, what you did, Collingwood, watching Adelaide, Adelaide did everything that usually works, and you guys made them look basically just three big fuckers in the forward line. Like, even the crowd, you know, them booing Quaynor. I don't want to get into that, but even the way they started the game felt like they were looking for a reason to have that hunger and that fire, where you guys came out and just were like, playing for a flag.
Let's go. Yeah, exactly right.
Can I just give a shout out to Quaynor as well? An example for young men in the world of how you respond to the media when they tried to get him to hang Adelaide fans and how he reacts to that. Absolute, what a model citizen, because he could have thrown Adelaide under the bus, had a bit of a suck, had a cry, added fuel to the fire. What an incredible human being that he made sure everyone was treated with respect. He didn't look for the headline. Shout out Isaac, if you ever watch this, I applauded you and showed my kids this is how you react when you are morally right. Yeah. You don't rub it in the face. You act like a man. And he acted like a man in every sense of the word. So bravo.
He's such an incredible person. Yeah.
Well said. Quick fire answer here from Maxwell. Who do you think will be better next year as well between Gold Coast and the Giants if Gold Coast don't win next week? Gold Coast.
Yeah.
I think Gold Coast as well. Yeah.
I had Giants missing the 8 this year because of their 2 losses where they were up by whatever it was, 6 goals, 7 goals last year. And I just thought mentally they'd be knocked out. But I think now she's cooked. I think.
Yeah.
You don't have to ask me. I'll lead the GWS hatred fan club. No, I am on that path. And I do think, joking apart, I think Gold Coast. But I do want to give GWS a shout out. I don't think anyone talks about this. You look at their history, how many times they lose players that are best 22. They've lost another one, Lee Kalia. Like, something has to be said of their list management, how they keep recycling it. But I still question, are they any better without Leon Cameron? I still see the same issues, different game style, but I don't think you can teach backbone, and I don't see backbone in that team.
Yeah.
Is Jacob Ware a big out for them, Bob?
I did a video today, but as usual, when you do anything, like, honestly, what the fuck is wrong with Port Adelaide fans? Start watching content, educate yourselves. Like, if you do a Port Adelaide vid, you're lucky to get 500 views. I don't think he's a big out for them, but I think he's the kind of out that does fuck GWS. They seem to lose your Peatlings, your Cummings, your next tier from A grade. And I think that's really hard to replace. So I reckon Angwin will leave that club in 2 years. I can see Angwin being the next guy to leave that club, because it seems to be what happens with GWS. People leech their role players. So I think that's a worry for them. I don't think he's a huge out on paper, but I do think he is a perfect acquisition for Port. Like, I think I was actually touched myself when I saw Port link with him, because it was actually a clever acquisition. Thank you, Luke. I love you, man.
I was pretty keen on a Jacob Ware, that type of role player.
You know what's impressed me over the last 2 years, Terry, is like, you like boring now.
I have an eye. I'll have an eye for the players, mate. I have an eye for the guys that are going to be filling a role.
I'm very impressed with you, Terry. Like, over this journey of us doing Trader Draft together, we used to get excited by the Cornelios and the pad players. And now Terry rings me and he's like, "Pom, thoughts on Jacob Ware?" And I'm like, "What?"
Mate, I learned from the best.
Like, that makes me proud. It makes me proud, because that like Perryman, great, Teresa. What an acquisition! The Pez dog turns me on when I watch him at Collingwood.
Yeah, 100%.
Like Membry. I remember
100%.
doing Membry with your mate Pies Footy, and his chat was lambasting me, going, "Nah, he's shit. He's shit. He's shit." And I'm
You
like,
can see
mate,
from a
you
mile
watch
away
him
he was
play.
fucking good. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was no, but it's because he's not
Ridiculous.
exciting. They're like, rather have Ben King, get me Ben King in. And I was like, Membry's him. And then you watch Membry and you're like, oh, what a delight is old Timmy Mem.
Well, at the start, I know we're gonna get to topics and just quickly what's on my head. At the start of the year, I had Membry, McStay, and Myercheck down for 100 goals for the season. And I got fucking called out. They finished with 85 goals. That's with McStay. That's with McStay being he did his MCL, so he was out for 6-7 weeks playing in the ruck and as a backman. So that's a pretty good return from 3 over 30-year-old forwards and a makeshift forward line.
And people forget Membry works hard for his team. Like it's not just the goals. Like I was watching them this week. Them leads he makes creates like Schultz. There's no surprise to me. Schultz looks $1 million because he's playing with a very intelligent Membry. Just quietly, how good was Schultz this weekend as well? I don't think he gets enough love.
Fantastic.
And who else turned me on? I'm big Darcy Moore fanboy over here. I respect a man that can make mistakes like that and then prove it when it matters. Like, round 1 to round 23 is a Fugazi. Do it in finals. He did it. Big dog.
Plays like that. Pies will win the flag.
Big dog, wasn't he? He was the big dog, Darcy. Like, quality to watch.
All right. I'll go next. So I want to reflect on hate comments or and I guess for those of you, at home or anytime whatever you do in your life, have you ever received hate comments or have you ever given value to what people are thinking about you? And I guess for us four here, I want you to reflect on how you used to deal with hate comments. We all get them. We all used to get them. We all still get them. It happens. And how have you, the content creator, reconciled that? And has it taught you anything about what AFL players experience on a much larger scale?
I'll go first. I get hate comments all the time. I used to get it worse. It used to be really, really worse. And it would be just every day, it would, and some of it is back and forth as well. So I'm not playing the victim. Some of it is bad. Some of it is really uncalled for as well. Where all you have to do is say just one thing about your team or post one thing about your team on YouTube, and that gets clipped 1,000 times, and it starts. Most recently, I had an article in the Herald Sun about. So I got interviewed about plane tickets for the game, and I said, I bought my tickets during the Hawthorn Brisbane game. Got them cheap, but it's just a rort for any fans to, the airlines are just, making any fan pay that has to travel, and it's not on, not just Pies fans, it's any fans. And the headline was something like Pies fans, something about ticketing prices, and of course a picture of me on the front. Got posted by an Adelaide fan, and it just went bonkers. The article wasn't posted, so the context wasn't posted. It was just a headline and a photo of me, and they were coming for my height, the way I look, my content, how I'm so privileged to be playing 16 games at the MCG. I never have to travel I'm complaining about travel, and I'm like read the article. Like you don't. You're just seeing a headline, and I'm explaining it to you. And the guy that originally posted it ended up getting like 600 likes from this guy that posted it. And I was fighting Adelaide people all week about it. And I used to get really bad. I used to be really bad at it. It would take a real toll on my mental health. I'd get off social media for a couple of weeks, like fully off everything. I would really internalize it, and in turn, that comes out that comes out in fucking road rage when I'm driving. I could feel it. Or eating. I used to eat my feelings a lot. But now when
Fucking
I
love
do,
a good binge.
I love a good
binge.
feelings binge. It's incredible. But now what I do is it still sort of gets to you. But what I like to do now is, I used to sort of call people out on Instagram stories or whatever, block their name, because I'm like, I'm not going to stoop to their level. If they're sort of calling me out or whatever, I'm not going to stoop to. Now I'm like, what, fuck you. If you got to say it on a public forum, I'm going to call you out to 42,000 of my followers. They can see how much of a fucking dumb fuck you are. If you're going to, if I'm saying, and I used to get it like, and you guys have probably seen it as well. I remember one time I posted a photo after the grand final of me with Jamie Elliott, Nick Dacos, and their premiership medals at the after party. I had Carlton supporters in the comments telling me to stand up. Why are you kneeling for? Like, I just want a flag. Sorry, I didn't win a flag. My team just won a flag, and I snuck into the after party and partied with my players. You guys are sitting on your hands and sucking your thumb, but it still got to me. In my happiest moment of my life, it still fucking got to me. And there's videos of me on Twitter that still do the rounds from like cunts like Prime Walsh and all these pricks and stuff. And it's always height. It's always weight. Well, back when I was, 20 kilos heavier and not as ripped and six-packy as I am now, right, Pommy? But so that stuff, it still gets to you, it still permeates. But I do better with I do better with just calling him out on it and kind of just, it's like an ocean wave, right? Just comes in and you just sort of just have to let it go. You can't change everyone's mind. Is something that I've definitely learned.
Yeah, good on you. That's good. Jake, how do you deal with it?
I don't know. I'm probably like Swoop. I think I could deal with it better. I think I'm getting there. I used to bite back a lot. Like I'd have to respond to every single one. Yeah. And that would just then turn into a whole thread back and forth. And the thing I've realized is even if you could change someone's mind, I'll tell you what, I don't have the time or the energy to try and even attempt it. Yeah. Because if you don't believe what I'm saying from the first time, I'm not gonna try and convince you otherwise. So the one thing that and it was interesting, I saw a lot of the Swoop comments. I couldn't believe it. The one thing I hate about subscription articles now is, hey, thank you very much.
Sorry. That is fucking brilliant.
How good. Comedic timing.
That is brilliant. I'll send that straight to the club. Thank you. What was I talking about? Yeah, I saw all the comments from Swoop, and that was really annoying. But I think partly, in a way, the fact that their subscription, they're locked articles and you get no context and you just get a headline and a photo, it kind of forces people to make up assumptions about what it's about. And they just jump to whatever suits their narrative because maybe they don't like Swoop. They know he's Collingwood and 100%. They just go down that rabbit hole. And I had an article, I wouldn't say it was an article, but just a bit of a column come out last week, and it was around the positivity around the club and why Saints fans should get a little excited and maybe believe in what we're doing. And after an hour or two, I didn't want to look at the comments. I didn't want to read the comments because it went on Code Sports, it went on the Herald Sun. On the Herald Sun one, it went off on Facebook. It had 300, 400 comments. Yep. Only a couple that kind of go at you personally, but those are the ones that stick with you. A lot of them are St Kilda shit, this and that. Yep. So I completely sympathize. Even I remember this vividly. I had a nice photo taken with Alex Tyru post-game a couple of weeks back. His mum took it. She's a legend, and I got a photo with him after a win. And I reckon I sat there and I was like, I want to post this, but I look like I know what's coming because he's 6'4", I'm 5'7". I know what's coming, and I'm like, I had to think about it for like 15 minutes, and I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm posting this because that's an awesome moment. I don't give a shit. Yeah. But I can't say I don't give a shit because I thought about it that much, and I avoided the comments because I saw the very first comment come through, and it's like, Jake, shouldn't you stand on a cardboard box? Or Jake, are you like 5'1"? And a couple of them, I have to be like, you do realize these blokes are huge, right? Like you do understand. Have you not stood next to a footballer? Like,
Yeah,
even if I was 6 foot, I would look small next to Tyroo. Like, take it easy. But then they just fuel and it gets to you a little bit. So that one probably, those ones tick me off. And even to the point where like when I've done interviews, I'm like, hey, can we sit down? Like, because I know it's going to just, idiots are just not going to listen to the substance.
Yeah, I feel you,
They're just
man.
going to look at what they say. So that's a bit annoying. But now, at least in the last week or two since that article came out, and I've seen some comments and what people have had to say about it, if they don't like me, they can block me. I'm not going to block them. They can see more of me. I don't care. I'm just going to keep doing what I do what I enjoy. And, you know, if 7 out of 10 people like me, I'm going to enjoy the positivity from the 7 people. And if there's 3 that don't like me, well, that's their problem. I'm not going to make it my problem.
Nice.
100%.
Yeah.
Can I just say, it's always the squeaky wheel that you sort of hear the most. They tell you don't read comments, like, and it's that simple. Don't read comments, but fuck, you're the human we're curious by nature. We discovered
100%.
fire out of curiosity. You know what I mean? Like, we're curious to dive into that. I don't know what I'm going to get. You know what you're going to get. You know what you're going to get. You know what you're going to get every single time. And now I just like to fight. I'm like, fucking bring it on, man. Let me call you out. Bring it on. But I'm sorry, Jake. That especially when it's such a good moment and you have to question because some dumbass in their mother's basement, you know, shitting themselves and not changing their underwear, you know, because they are jealous and they're not doing what you're doing, right? They have to make themselves feel better for the neck beard that they have. They have to insult you for meeting a future premiership sainter. Fuck me, you know?
I mean, it is what it is. I should focus more on, like, 20 minutes after the article got published, Andrew Bassett sent me an email, said he read it, said it was awesome, and you know, he was proud of me for doing it. So I should focus on the wins more than anything. So that's still a little bit of a work in progress, but yeah, you're always going to get a bit of hate.
Nice, Pommy. I'll get to you. I've missed a few of these donations. I think this one is for Luke. 20.
Thanks,
I have told Swoop this on a few comments now, but I've been a big supporter of Shooter. He's like a pit bull on energy drinks. His work ethic and determination. I loved him in Freo and back in the day.
Magpies.
Magpies.
Oh, that's where he's from?
Footy.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's awesome. Thank you, Max. Yeah.
Pommy, kudos to you for the marathon quality watch-alongs on the weekend. So solid, mate. It's good stuff.
Thank you, mate.
Awesome.
Oi, True Footy's in the house. Wow. Wow. We're in esteemed company.
Lots on high to mingle with
All
the
right.
common folk. Good to see.
All right. Come on,
Pommy,
boys. Sort it out.
reflecting on hate comments, how did you used to deal with them? How do you deal with them now? Like, what do you think of?
I come at it different because I've got kids. So I think that everything I do, I've got to handle myself that I could validate to my children. So, I mean, I look at it this way. I have children, so I see them in real life be irrationally angry, have an irrational hatred towards something. And genuinely, I hate to be horrible to them. It's just because they have a lack of intelligence and comprehension to understand that life's not fair. Some people are better than you at things. Some people are smarter than you. And so I do that. The things that irritate me, look, I can cop. Saw my mate Josh in the chat say Pom cops hate for where he's born and stuff. That happens. That used to probably irritate me at the start, but to be irritated, I don't like unintelligence. So I will, and that's a work in progress on me. And trust me, it's a hard thing because I view your intelligence, your IQ, your ability to comprehend things, that's all on you. We're all born equal in that avenue. If you can't put effort in to educate yourself, I expect you to sit down, shut up, and let someone speak who's more smarter than you. You might learn something. So I hate that kind of stupidity. That's what irks me when I get a comment in chat and it's stupidity. Like it's just, and it's obvious stupidity as well. It's not like them trying. It's It's deliberately idiotic. Hate comments, though, they never bother me, because at the end of the day, I will only take hatred off people I would accept advice off.
Yeah, that's
And
good.
it's fascinating when I see people's comments and they stupidly leave a trail so you can see them. It'll be one of two people. It'll be people that haven't got anything in their lives. And that actually makes me feel empathy, because I'm fortunate. I've got a beautiful wife in there. I can hear one of my kids in the bath at the minute. I have my father-in-law that lives with me. I've got a lot of love. So I feel sorry for people that don't have that. I feel like everyone deserves it. And the second thing is, they over talk about what they have. I've got a better car than this person. I earn, and I'm like, so it's a very shallow existence. So it's obvious. I'd rather people send me hatred, because genuinely, as horrible as it sounds, you can live a long, happy life with everyone you love, or you can die alone. I don't give a shit either way. Like, that's what people need to know. Unless I choose to care about you, you could die tomorrow. And guess what? I'll wake up as I do every morning. I'll flick the kettle on. I'll go out the front of my house for a dart. I'll come back in, pour that cup of tea, and I will drink it. So just know well and true, unless I choose to take your energy, you don't exist in my realm. Like, you don't exist. And that's beautiful. So I find it quite fascinating. I do enjoy it when people come onto the video to drop hate. That's something that really turns me on. Like, genuinely, you have gone out of your way to watch me annoy you. And I don't know you exist. I don't know you exist. So I would say this to people. I think Swoop handles it horrifically. This is as an old man. Handles it horrifically, because when you respond, you are merely serving them. You're not serving yourself.
Yeah. I know that. I know.
Yeah, yeah. And I used to be like you when I was younger. I used to like getting in the DMs and being like, come on then, big boy. This is my address. Get round there. But it did it. But by just reacting to it, I've given them something. Do you know what I mean? I've given them something.
You gave them what they wanted. Yeah.
And the best thing when you've got kids, if they play up and they want attention, you starve them of all attention. You make it as vanilla as possible. The TV's off. There's just a white wall to look at. You sit there and you think about what you've done until you can comprehend the emotions and talk to me as someone who can help you. So that's how I treat these people. I treat them like my kids. I lock them in a room.
I love that.
And it's just a white wall with a window. There's no sound, no nothing. And I will let them out if they're willing to talk to me with love in their heart and they need my help. And until then, they just stay in that room until they're old enough and wise enough to deal with these weird emotions that they're feeling. So as horrible as it sounds, so my chat knows I'm in DMs with most of them. Once I love you, I'll care about you, but why would I open my heart to people that don't deserve love? Like, it's funny to me. I find it funny. Like, it turns me on. Just know, instead of Pornhub, your sick DMs are what I touch myself to at night.
Yeah. I reflect on a few things. I remember early days. I think I might have done a video with Pommy. We might have been standing outside of Marvel Stadium, and I remember someone. It wasn't that bad. He basically said, "What is this? Is this a school project?" And I think I remember it as the first. I don't know. It wasn't even a hate comment. It was an anti comment. It was a bit of banter, whatever it was. My perception on it from the start, I would say I've been relatively lucky. I also don't think I'm very controversial, so I don't really attract that. I like to view things from a different lens. I like to explore both sides of an argument. I would say the most hate I get is actually from Carlton fans more than anyone else. Like, I reckon I caught banter. I reckon I get banter from opposition fans. And I reckon, I mean, there's one Carlton fan in particular, this motherfucker fucking hates me. I've just like not given him the air that he desperately wants. And it's been 7 years, like, just seriously haven't. And it's gotten to this point now where every time I see something, I'm like, wow, you are fucking pathetic.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I've been able to tune into the fuck you. Also, anytime I've ever addressed someone in person, energy's totally different. Now,
100%.
it does help being 6'2", and it does help being pretty thick and solid.
Yeah,
I'm not going
fucking
to lie,
tell me,
but
mate.
yeah. But yeah, I've honestly, like, no one's given me the same energy in person. Or if I've called them on the phone, or if I've wanted to sort something out. And I think there's a principle. I don't know who said it to me. I don't know where I read it or where I saw it, but you'll never get criticized or hate from someone doing more than you. It's always
That's
someone
good.
who's
That's very good.
not doing. It's always someone lacking. It's always someone doing less. And the reason why I brought up the topic is today I was doing the Jesse Motlop video. So, Port Adelaide have shown interest, and I also did a season review. It was tough and it was awkward covering Jesse Motlop this year. Pommy and I do the rating show, and every week we'd get to Jesse Motlop, and the fucking comments, man, some of the shit we'd see. It's like, okay, like, he hasn't played well today. The team hasn't played well. He's 21 years old. Kerno's got 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Jack Silvani's got 1 foot in, 1 foot out. De Koning's got 1 foot in, 1 foot out. These are the guys that's where the building's crumbling, but Jesse cops it because he didn't kick 2 goals, or he fumbled, or he second guessed himself playing in the midfield when he's a small forward, but Jagger Smith went down, and Elijah went down, and Cottrell and Walsh went down. So it was tough. And there's no doubt, like, I understand, like, Pommy, what you said, I agree. You don't give it air, you give it the fuck you, but these are 21-year-old guys who live in social media, and of course they see it, they read it, their families read it. I've been accused of being way too soft. Part of the reason for that, to be honest, is because I've spoken to family members, I've spoken to players, and it's like, hey, we see it. And I'm like, so I'm trying to have the balance between, critiquing performance, but also being respectful to the human, because there seems to be this school of thought, but they get paid $200,000 or $300,000 a year, so anything goes. Okay, sure, but they also are human beings that lay in bed at night full of adrenaline when they can't sleep, and the mind will attract itself to the negative subconsciously. It just will. So it's giving me something to think about.
Yeah, I think that's a good point about the. Sorry, Pom. That's a good point about the families. They might not comment, but they read, man. The players read. They'll say they don't read. The young ones who are 18, 19, 20, they've grown up with social media. They're in the comments, and that's one of the reasons why. I don't do a I don't do a rate like a 1 to 10. I don't rate players 1 to 10, like, because I couldn't give Bobby Hill a 2 if he had a shit game. Because, like, if I'm going to be so critical of him, everyone else is going to jump on. Because, Swoop saying he played shit. Everyone else jumps on. It becomes, you know what I mean? So they read, man. I know, like you, Terry, I've talked to parents who have seen it, who have seen it all. And if we could just do our bit to change the narrative, constructive feedback or constructive criticism, 100%, you can give that. But I've seen slander on Darcy Moore this year. From people, like content creators and people, have just been out fucking rageous. And I'm like, what the? And then I get accused of being too soft. It's like, no, like, come at it from a different angle, But
I saw a dude call out Harry Mackay's mental health issues, get pushback, and then make a video saying, I've got mental health issues and someone in my family died recently, and like, basically accused Harry of playing the mental health card,
and then playing the
mental health card. I was like, hang on a minute.
Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah. Sorry, Paul, what were you saying?
No, but I mean, I also think that there's a grey area. So people watching at home, very easy if you don't want negativity in the world. And I tell my kids there, don't do anything excellent. So that's something that I teach my kids. I have to prepare them mentally that I would be an idiot if I believe I can create a tranquil society where David and Zane can go about their lives and never receive pushback. So there is a huge responsibility as me as a dad to teach them mental resilience. And that goes for the players as well. Unfortunately, I see the things that people say about Darcy Moore, and I often put myself in his positions. If I read that and you were saying that about my wife and you were saying about me, how would I react? I wouldn't react very nice. But there's also got to be an element of mental strength from it. And also, I always get concerned when people, like what you said there, I would never rate the players 1 out of 10. Like, why not? Because that's not bullying. Because I can tell my kids, okay, I've looked at your homework. It's a 2 out of 10. It's not bullying, though, because I'm not going to go, oh, my God, you're a fucking failure. Jesus, I wish I had a daughter. Not you. I'm going to look at them and go, right, it's 2 out of 10, but this is how we get it to an 8 out of 10. So this is how we get it out. So you can still be positive. Like, I feel like what happens is and this is why we have, in my opinion, more social media bullying, because there is no ramifications. We don't want to be nasty, even when there's an element of righteous anger. And when there's an ability to be angry legitimately, we go too far and we have to like chastise them, and that ruins it. Like, it's healthy to have pushback. It's healthy. It makes you stronger.
No, it's good for you.
Like, if you don't do it. And trust me, I'll be honest. 40 years old. I've been around. I've met wonderful people, bad people. I have never had someone go out of their way to be horrible to me that I would trade lives with. Ever. It's never happened. I've had people give me negative feedback that I would happily trade lives with. But people who have gone out of their way to be mean, when I've scratched at the surface, I wouldn't swap lives with them. So genuinely speaking, they are the worst human beings in the world, just in a spiritual way. You don't want to be like them. So never worry about them. Like, just look at the troll accounts. I mean, imagine creating a burner account to be horrible to someone. Like, just imagine that, because already the universe...
Imagine the life admin that it takes to do that.
Yeah, 100%.
No, but you
think effort than running our channels.
Fuck me.
You think the most beautiful thing in the world is saying to someone to their face that they are a cunt and you don't like them. And we've all got that person in our lives where we've had that ability at one point to tell them how they've made us feel for a long period of time. And that moment where we stand up could be a parent, it could be a family member, it could be an old acquaintance, but you get that ability to look them in the eyes and say, you mean nothing to me. You are a horrible human being. So liberating. Imagine, though, not being brave enough to put your face and your words. That's already society telling you are a coward. And unfortunately, if you aren't a brave human being, you don't deserve your place on this earth. Because braveness isn't physical. Braveness is the ability to come back tomorrow. So if you already do that, you already have lost it. So never let anyone hurt your mindset, because if when I see a burner, you know them names, Dave 169, already I've won, because my face, my voice, this is my fucking room.
Yeah,
I've already owned who I am, so I've already won, haven't I? Like, I have already won in life by that.
All right, good stuff. Pommy, you're up.
Game time.
Oh.
Hi, here we are. Look, so for some of our members of the panel, when I say some, one has been playing finals. And as you know, I enjoy finals and I wish my team was a final side. But it got me thinking, I'm the trade and draft guy. I'm the guy that looks at list management on a lineal plane. Is there a pattern to playing finals? So we've got a little bit of a game for you, the studio audience, and my beautiful panel. We're going to have a look at what percentage of the top 8 sides this weekend were drafted out of 100%. What the average pick in the draft of them players was, but also what the average spend is in picks. To make this fair, all the points that have been used in this year's point system. So not 10 years ago. It's whatever the point system is now to equalize it. There's some caveats. If you have picked up a player on a free agency as a delisted or a pre-season pick, we have allocated that the pick number. So if there was 70 in the draft, 30 in the rookie, he would be 101. We've weighted it to lower orders. So we've counted that as a pick. So we've tried to equalize this as much as possible. The trade values are only what the club paid. We're not counting what they've received in return. We're just going to count that as a flat fee. Why? Because what the change is from it is irrelevant. It's what they've allocated that spend on a player. So, for example, Jeremy Cameron, we're not going to say is 3 firsts and 2 seconds coming back. They've given up 3 firsts and they've allocated them points for that. What they come back is irrelevant. So we tried to equalize it. That's what we tried to do. So we'll play a little game. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this a little bit differently and instead of getting you to randomly guess, we're going to play higher or lower. So we'll start with Adelaide, and I'll start with Mr. Champion at the minute, Swoopus Lucas. Do you think Adelaide have more or less than 60% of their team drafted this weekend just gone?
More.
Swoop. You, my friend, are perfect. 69. Wee, cheeky. 0.6% of their team this week.
Nice.
Terry's memes kill me. So just under 70% of their team this week was actually drafted by Adelaide Crows, their first owners. So, Jake, we'll go down to you. Do you think Collingwood's squad is higher or lower than 69.6%?
Ooh, I'm going to go lower.
Jake, as always, mate, a man of intelligence. Only 56.5% of their team this weekend was drafted. The rest was bought. So that's a fascinating one. Collingwood, as we always say, the masters of manipulation. They are the masters of manipulating the modern day system. Okay, Terry, this is the big one, this. The Geelong Cats, do you think it's higher or lower, the percentage of their side drafted? So just over half of Collingwood's team has been bought in, just under half. How much do you think the Geelong have drafted? Higher than 56% of that team?
Higher.
Indeed, it was the second most in the finals. A staggering 70.
Wow. Yes.
Tell you what, it gets worse. Some stats with Geelong are shockingly scary of how good they are. So back to you, Swoop. Brisbane Lions.
Oh,
less or more than what Geelong have?
Less.
Just less. 65.2% of their team was drafted. So that's pretty impressive still, but still not good. Now, GWS, Jake, this is tricky. Higher or lower their percentage of drafted players?
Ooh. Maybe just lower.
Oh, Jake.
80%
of GWS's side is drafted in. That's phenomenal. The anomaly of the AFL things. Phenomenal work. But some explanations. Massive draft concessions at the start.
Yeah.
They have had multiple picks in the first round. They have incidentally had the very similar amount of picks as Carlton and North Melbourne have had in a short period. The difference between Carlton and North Melbourne is that they have actually nailed the side. They have nailed the teams as opposed to trading them out or doing something stupid. So that's it. Terry, Hawthorn, lower or higher than GWS?
they'll be lower than GWS.
You'd
Well,
hope.
that gets easy.
56.5, the same as Collingwood. So this is, if you remember a couple of weeks ago, and Moontide, to explain, don't feel lost, mate. This is the percentage of their 23 that played this weekend that they originally drafted. So they were the first owners. Think of it that way. First owners. Then the next column you'll see, mate, is what the pick of the drafted players was on average. So for argument's sake, if there was 23 players, let's say all 23 of them were drafted, we're going to say what the average pick per player was for just the drafted players. So it's just a good little exercise. Fremantle, right? Higher or lower than 56.5?
Higher.
You are spot on. And I feel sorry for Jake because he's going to always seem to has the harder one. But higher or lower than 78.3% Gold Coast Suns?
Lower.
Well done, Jake. So, so there you are. Percentage of the draft. Now, a big couple of notices here. If you remember a couple of weeks ago, we did a similar game where I said that Collingwood, Geelong, and Hawthorn have invented methods of drafting and free agency. You can see their base here. So Geelong, we're going to talk about it a bit, but their method is different to the modern day. Hawthorn and Collingwood have really lent into this, and Gold Coast in the last window have really lent into this modern day of not buying second chance players, because I think the way Damien Barrett explains it makes Geelong sound like Collingwood sound like they've gone to the $2 shop. What Collingwood and Hawthorn have done is talent acquire at the right elements. So great example, Tom Barras Josh Battle 2 years ago. Jake will back me up on this. They came in for Battle. Everyone was saying, just pay the picks, just pay the picks. Hawthorn backed themselves, waited a year, paid high. Same with what St Kilda incidentally are doing, who are getting lambasted this year. They could have got Lee Kalia last year. They were linked with him, right? They have waited till the last year of his contract's coming up, so they'll get him a little bit cheaper. They could have maybe traded for TDK last year. They probably had a plan. They waited. Jake Silvani, everyone said last year, get a rush Josh Battle replacement. They may do. They've waited for free agents to open up. They've bought them. That's smart business. It's a risk, but the best teams in the country at the minute are doing it. So let's go to the average pick. So we'll start with Terry this time. He's next. Terry, do you think the average pick used in the draft for this 23 is higher or lower than pick 25 for Adelaide?
Higher.
Terry, you're good at this. It's a good job that you spend draft time. Look, the average pick spend of their draftees works out at 38.3 and 38.8. So nearly pick 39 across their draftees. Okay. Swoop, I've left you with your team. Do you think Collingwood spend more or less per pick per player than Adelaide on draft? Only the draftees.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of who the fuck we drafted. More.
You are spot on. Collingwood Magpies paying almost pick 46.6 per of their drafted players. Quite a few rookies in their team this week. Will Parker being one of them. As well, which adds to that as well. Okay, Jake. Geelong. Do they spend more or less per pick? This is going to shock people, this when they say this. So there's your clue.
I think it's less than that.
What?
You
That's
are looking.
Wild.
So when I said Hawthorn and Collingwood are the modern day geniuses, Geelong are the geniuses of using the draft the right way as a championship winning side. They look at less obvious places. So while when you go to a Sandringham Dragons game, there will be 18 talent scouts there, go and watch a Geelong Falcons game. There'll be two old men with a dog. The wife will be picking up the poo. and they'll be the Geelong list manager there. We have got something in the AFL that takes a while to understand. You look at the way they've got Lawson Humphries, unpopular selection, older player. I'm not scared of taking a mature age player in the draft where everyone else is shit scared. Manor, Lawson Humphries. They've taken the risk. Tommy Atkins in the rookie draft. Geelong, the masters of going where no one looks. Okay, Terry, here you are. Brisbane, do they spend more or less? Do they use better picks or worse picks than Brisbane than Geelong?
I would say they use better picks than Geelong for the ones that are drafted.
One of the few teams in this segment here, that team is the only team in this, actually, who use players in the first round on average.
Well,
so their team is firstroundville.com. And Stephen Spawn, it could be worse if people took father sons in the right way. Teresa, brilliant comment as well. Sandful, if you're watching the Pommy and Oz Moneyball series, we live in the Sandful because by a metric point of view, the closest league in the Australia to how the AFL is played from a physicality standpoint. So well done, Teresa. GWS, are they using better or worse picks, Swoop?
Worse picks.
They are indeed. Only just the media darlings of the AFL average 25.2 per player, which is still quite high. They've had quite a few successes, though, late, but quite a few pick ones in their side. Okay, now we've got the real tough team for you, Jake. Hawthorn. Are they worse picks, higher picks, or lower picks than the Giants?
Worse.
They are indeed. Staggering. An average drafted side of pick 49.8 per pick.
Wild.
Fremantle. Terry.
Better
higher
picks
or lower?
Lower. Better picks than Fremantle.
Surprisingly, no one talks about it, slightly lower than Hawks. Only Geelong probably have a better success rate from 20 to 40 than Fremantle. Fremantle's picks in that late second, usually bona fide genius selections. Finishing with you, Swoop. Gold Coast. Are they draft whores or are they draft investors? Are they higher or lower?
They're lower than Fremantle.
Yep, quite surprisingly, considering a lot of these players have been first rounders, they do have a penchant, players like Jai Farah, players like that, for picking players again, like Geelong, outside of the network, somewhere else. So, in phenomenal things. So now, as you'll see, you've got the best drafting side, Geelong, versus the guys who have been Mr. Obvious, Brisbane, 17.8. So you can see the disparity there of the two sides. Fascinating how they do it. So now we're going to look at average spend. Average spend. So this is the average pick that they use to buy a player. So think about that. And this is just their spend. It's not their net spend. It's what they gave up. So we'll start with Swoop. You ready?
Yeah.
Is Adelaide's average pick spend higher or lower than pick 20?
Wait.
Higher?
Just say, I tried to get you. Yeah, you know my life face. They averaged 29.3. So remember, a few of them are very smart plays. They've used the free agency recently, which has warped that because obviously they don't have to give anything up. But that's pretty much where you want it to be. You don't want to be spending first on players if you're wise. Collingwood, Mr. Jake, do they spend more or less on players? So is the average pick spend higher than pick 29 or less?
Maybe a little higher.
Oh, Jake. I feel sorry for you. I haven't set this up for Jake. He has got the hard ones, though, the way we've done it.
Okay.
Slightly
Yeah, I was.
They use a slight better pick than them. Pick 28 it rounds out at. But they're the warped ones. Dan Houston, players like that where they've spent a lot.
Yeah.
I think Jake might have meant the other way anyway, so I'm going to give Jake a tick for that one. But here you are, Mr. Terry. Is the pick close to the first round or worse than the first round?
So if their average pick in the draft for the players in their team that come from the draft is 61.4, I don't think they get their first round picks wrong. So I think it'd be lower, their average spend.
This is going to make you sick.
What? How?
Holy shit.
Okay, so things like Jack Bowes, where they completely robbed the deal. You actually find when you watch Geelong trade, their trades are probably the most anal in how they spend. They pick up players for like fourths, swaps, and thirds. They are one of the most dirty, well, not dirty, I mean it in the nicest possible way, but probably the hardest negotiators in the AFL. You watch a Geelong trade, they don't fuck about. They have a value and they walk away. One of the few teams in the last 10 years that actually have walked away from deals as well that have been locked in. Great example is the Jack Bowes deal, where they got pick 6 and a player, which completely warps that deal as well. If you think they've got a player and that's a negative loss, they gave up nothing. They gave up nothing and got 2 people. So incredible.
They will always be wild.
Incredible. So you think they're Geelong. So that's intelligent.
For Marshall, you reckon? Pick 42 for Marshall then? Is that what they're going to do?
The problem is what Geelong do, and I think this is no one talks about it. Look at players at Geelong when they go to Geelong as well. I think it's easy to say it's cotton on, but not many players openly accept less money, do they? And also, you watch, not many people haggle with Geelong because it's known Mackie will ring you up tomorrow with sauce and go, give you pick 42. And you'll say, nah, we want pick 30. And he'll be like, okay, cool. We'll go and get Ned Reeves then. Thanks. Bye. And then the player will start going, but I want to go to Geelong. I don't want them. So they're very clever at playing the game, Geelong. Incredibly well football run. Okay, so Geelong. They use pick 42 on average to buy a team. Brisbane. Is that closer to the first round or worse than pick 42? Terry. I'll give you another go.
I think it would be lower.
Yep. So Brisbane are one of the best paying sides in this thing. If you look at Brisbane genuinely do a deal. They genuinely are a player first football club. They don't fuck about in negotiations. They try and make sure everyone's happy. 2 clubs that I can respect. Geelong, just do it on your terms. Fuck the rest. Brisbane, they're not like that. They look at it. Now, next club, GWS. Swoop. Do they use better, closer to first round picks? Or do they look for bargains and use...
They look for bargains. They look for bargains.
They do. GWS are probably buck the trend with the modern day football clubs. They aren't scared of taking budget picks and just doing top-up deals. So very clever. Hawthorn, Mr. Luke, are they using closer to the first round picks than GWS to trade in their players? Or
Jake.
Are they letting it fuck off?
It's Jake's guess.
Jake, sorry.
38. They're going to beat that. I think they're lower than that.
Oh.
9.9.
So Hawthorn, very similar in their trade negotiation to Geelong. If you watch Hawthorn when they trade, the Barras deal was fascinating. That deal, as it got close to the time, the media were like, Hawthorn have got to pay more. Hawthorn have got to pay more. Hawthorn still stuck to their price, and eventually Barras threatened to not play for them. Before you know it, overnight, the deal's signed. Hawthorn, very similar to Geelong. They set their price. They wait for you to succumb to it. Okay, Fremantle, Terry. Fremantle, are they using bargains or are they spunking up their first on hacks?
Lower.
Indeed, Terry, you've nailed it. Yeah, just short of the first round, their average buying players are. So I'll leave you to finish us out, Swoop. Gold Coast Suns, when they buy players in, are they spending a lot of money or are they doing deals?
Spending a lot of money.
These Geelong, Gold Coast are a fascinating...
I haven't got one wrong yet. Let's go.
Mate, you're good at this. I'll give you that. You're good at this. Gold Coast are a fascinating conundrum. They have what we like to call in sport new baby spending syndrome. They are a team that uses their picks as if they're throwaway coins and they monopolize it. And this is where GWS, I'm harsh on GWS, but a lot of respect needs to be paid to them. GWS are trying to model themselves as a modern day football club where Gold Coast are maybe dining out a little bit on the good fortune and good nature of the AFL. It's a fascinating thing because one of the most common misconceptions you hear from the media is you draft your football team. So I think it was Kane Corns this week who said something along the lines when he was slagging off beautiful Jake Saints. And he was like, you've got to have a good core of home teams. You got to hit the draft. That's what the draft's there for. It's going to ruin the game of football if St Kilda do this. Absolute bollocks. The top teams now trying to draft core and then fast track the development by bringing in players that you can on bargain deals. The free agency is there for the first time in 20 years. St Kilda are using the free agency for what it is. They are now breaking up teams around them for their best players. Yes, they're paying overs, but we've had 5 teams in the last decade bank 95% of their caps to spend 110. And every club has fucked it up. Carlton spunked it up on players no one's ever heard of that they already had. St Kilda are the first side that have gone for, right, okay, which players can't you draft tomorrow? Key backs, Ruckman. You can't buy them in the draft. You've got to wait.
Yeah.
They're using it for the right thing. So it's very exciting. You know, so I want St Kilda fans to be excited. And I'd also like AFL fans, stop being precious little bitches about it and get excited that this game now is in the 21st century. This is what you're meant to do. You're meant to go out there and you don't ask for permission, right? You ask for forgiveness. Just take it. Yeah. Steal it.
That was excellent. But I'm mindful of time. I want to finish off in 10 minutes. So let's do some tips for the week. Pommy, that was brilliant.
Let's go.
Thank you.
Let's get down to business.
Big games.
So this is the state of play. Adelaide Hawthorn at the Adelaide Oval.
Oh, shit. I thought Pies lost the first week based on everyone's tips.
I got that so wrong. My prediction, my long shot from that post we did last week was the prelims would be all interstate. Got that way.
Oh, yeah.
Got that very wrong. So
sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be shit.
I need to give a shout out as well to CNZ Motors on my draft video where I tipped Fremantle by 2. And he was like, I'll quote, "Fucking Poms know nothing about football. This will be 10 goals, Fremantle at home. Gold Coast will shit themselves." Didn't look like it, did it, mate? Eh? Australia versus England. Imagine knowing your game less than someone foreign born. Fucking hate myself.
I've got Hawthorn. Yeah. Yep.
This is bloody hell.
You know what? I want Hawthorn to win it. Part of me wants Hawthorn to win it because I really rate what they do. But I actually think I was going to stick by my tip for Cardman's video. I don't think any of the top 4 go out in straight sets.
I was going to say that I think there's always a recency bias when the loser of the qualifying final, we
Yeah,
automatically
100%.
think they're not at a different level. And then you
Yeah.
see the semis and often they win them pretty comfortably. So having said that, if there was...
Up the Crom!
Crom.
Yeah,
On
I'll go
that
Crows.
Crom!
I'll go Crows.
On
Yeah,
that
Crom.
Crom!
they've learned their lesson from the first week.
Can we have a prediction of what happens if Adelaide get to the final and ranking plays? Like, are the AFL? Is this the worst case scenario for the AFL? Because I felt like the AFL bent over not doing it the extra game because they felt like, then we have ruled him out of finals, so let's put it on Adelaide. Isn't there a part of me, am I sick, that would make me fucking laugh if the AFL have to deal with that? Because it'll backfire on them, won't it?
Yeah.
Brisbane are going to be careful, though. Brisbane's the watch.
This is typical Brisbane. All the doubt, all the injuries, like Neil's out, Hipwood ACL, they just overcome. They've got the champion mindset and they do it the hard way.
Yeah.
So I'll tip the Lions.
I'm tipping the Suns.
Okay.
Is that because you think they'll win or because you want to play them in the prelim?
No, look, I think they'll win. I think they'll win.
Who do you want to play in the prelim though, out of the two?
Look, honestly, like I know we've only got a little bit of time, but like I think both of those games will be good. Like not even Gold Coast won't roll over. Like there'll be 5,000, 10,000 Gold Coast fans at the MCG if we play them, and that could G them up as well. So it's going to be
Gold Coast fans. Fuck.
Well, 9,000 will be Carlton fans. 9,000 will be Carlton fans wearing a pink jersey.
That's Swoop saying it's a 50-50.
I will translate that for those that don't speak Swoop. Swoop basically answered that question. Couldn't give a fuck who you put in front of us. We'll smash all these chumps.
Yeah, we'll have 99,000 there. Doesn't make a difference.
You see, there's part of me with you here, Terry. Like, I know Brisbane shouldn't win, but Collingwood shouldn't have won last week. It just feels like feels like us in the semi-finals, on that run, 2023. It feels like that was Gold Coast Melbourne game. That game too far. They've got the vibes now. They've ejaculated everywhere. Now they just want to go to sleep. I feel like Brisbane win.
Never underestimate the heart of a champion.
Yeah.
And do you know what the most dangerous animal in the world is?
My wife.
Me when I haven't eaten yet.
The wounded lion.
Damn. Beware the wounded lion.
The wounded lion.
You've been watching way too much YouTube. So
all right, let's go. Lock in
Lions.
Lock in the Lions.
All right. TBC. To be continued.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Oh, you didn't give Jake.
Look at those prelims.
You didn't give Swoop his moment.
Oh, okay. Fine.
No moment yet. No moment yet.
You fucking on about? You made us run an intro so you could get dressed, you man.
Is there an outro as well?
Yeah, it's just me mooning the camera and then
I'm scared what happens because he won the best score on our game on my show and he took his shirt off. I'm scared what happens if he wins another flag.
Well, our final show is grand final week, right? It's not post grand final.
If we win the flag, you guys won't see me for a month. I'll be fucking. I won't be home for a month.
I get the feeling we're going to start the season with a Luke Sayers dick pic, and we're going to end the season with a Swoop Luke dick pic. That's how I'll remember 2025.
I'm ready to get cancelled if we win 2 flags in 3 years.
Jeez, we could be playing the reigning premier in the opening round next year, Swoop.
Let's hear. Here we go, mate. Everyone wants to play. Everyone wants to play us.
Because you've been very quiet on Twitter, but I noticed you've returned.
Yeah.
And the sinister me thinks that you're just here for all the Carlton fans. You have convinced yourself you've won. And you've got like a fuckload of monthly videos.
You've got bookmarks.
Yeah. There's got to be a 2 hour video of every comment, every YouTuber that's said anything against Collingwood, and you've just got a
Receipts,
compilation.
baby. Receipts,
Like,
You know-
like
baby.
a full 6-part doco or something. You've got it. Like 100%.
Yeah.
That's actually a pretty good idea for a live stream. Live stream you going through tweet by tweet, bookmark tweet by
everything.
bookmark
That's
tweet,
actually a fucking sick
and
idea.
reply, and then
Mean tweets.
get your live chat to like help you with what should we reply to this idiot.
That's
Yeah.
that's pretty fucking good. All right. All right, I'm gonna do that after the ground. I don't want to jinx it now by bookmarking 1,000 tweets, but I'm gonna find Kane Corns' number and call him live on stream as well. After that,
You see,
over
that
the
was
round
my
remarks.
dream when Carlton win a flag, like live trolling with Pom. Like I'll just
That
open
would
up
be
my
good.
Twitter and I'll be like, find me a target. If you pay $5, I'll send whatever you want. Like,
Yeah.
did you know what I mean? I don't care anymore. We're flaggers, baby. Don't care.
So bloody
That's
good.
amazing.
What a
Gents, I need to go.
All right, guys.
To bed.
Yep. Same.
It's been a great show. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Thank
And
you.
we'll see you next week.
Love
you
you.
then.
See you next week.
Open
Ciao.
your